Hello YouTube, how's everybody doing? My name again is Dimitrios Bogris. I want to do another exercise for you guys and show you a couple of fun techniques you might want to use to better your picking. This exercise is very simple, but it can get very complicated very fast. Right now I've got my metronome set to 60 BPM, and what we're going to do is go from single picking, double picking, triplets, and then basically four notes per click, so quadruple picking, I guess you could call it, within one click. So for example, I'll go through that quickly and then I'll break it down for you. All right, so here's the singles. Doubles. Triplets. And quads. So that's just the basic 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. What we're going to then do after that is we're going to go into fives, groupings of 5. Then we're going to go to 6. We're going to go to 7, 8, and then 9. The easy ones are the ones that are even numbers. So for example, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. Beyond 9, I don't think you really need to practice it, because usually groupings are within 9. So even if you're doing a run on the Bouzouki and the run is something like that, or you're doing a triplet, a trill, the runs and the trills are never usually beyond a certain note. So this run that I did, right? It's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 notes. And then there's runs of all kinds in different directions. So this is more for helping you with rhythm and helping you with your picking, and being able to use the same picking as you're hearing in the rhythm. So if the rhythm is going pa 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 pa, that's a group of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the groupings have an accent of on 1 and then 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be counted not as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it would more typically be counted as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Now the 5 can also be taken as opposed to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. It can be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You're going to say, what's the difference? Well, the difference is the first one has a heavier downbeat or down accent or accent than the second one. And the second one is not a pseudo accent, but it's still an accent. It's just not as prominent. So the first one is accented because that's the beginning of the bar. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. See, the accent is still there, but it's less pronounced on the second one. So it's the first one that is still always accented, as you know, that's the beginning of the bar. So it's always going to be accented more heavily. So that's a 5. Now I'm going to go through the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4 first, and then we'll get to the 5, the 6, the 7, 8, and the 9. So the actually no, I'm not going to work with the metronome yet. So the 1 is very simple. 1 is going to be 1, 2. Every time there's a click, you're just going to play. Very simple. The 2, you're now going to split your brain a little bit, and you're going to put 2 notes, 2 picks within the span of that same click. So I'm going to go from the 1 and then quickly over to the 2 to show you what it sounds like. So here we go. Here we go. 2. All right, so that's your 2. Now the 2, if the 1s are quarter notes, then the 2 is going to be eighth notes. So you're playing quarter notes with your penna, with your pick, and then when you double it, when you now play double the notes in the same span of time equally, you're now playing eighth notes. If I was to then play a triplet would be dotted eighth notes, but with a half circle underneath and a 3. And that would sound like this. The notes come out very equally. They're not, or we want them, the first one to be on and then the other two to be suspended. So I'll do that again so that you can understand again what I mean. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the other two, the 2 and the 3 are suspended almost. There's no accent and there's no click for it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So they're more suspended in the air, and they're not above the rhythm, but they're sort of floating, and you got to place them. And placing them correctly is difficult if you don't understand the triplet. The 4 is like the 8ths, but because we're using the same speed, same click, they're now 16th notes. So when you have a quarter, and you split it in half, so you're playing 1 note per click, and that's a quarter, and you split it in half, and now you have 2 eighths. We're going to split it again. We're going to play double the notes, and we're going to get 4 notes out of it, which is going to be 16th. So 16th notes is what we're going to play now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, pame. I didn't quite get it right at the beginning, but that's okay. The example is still there. So again, it's important to make sure that everything is equal and that everything is spaced apart in a very equal and again mechanical way. We want it to be mechanical. This will come out eventually in your playing, and it gives the listener a sense that this person is on. So when you're playing live, or even if you're practicing. It's not okay to be out of rhythm, to be out of time. It's gonna happen. It's happened to me. I know professionals that it happens to all the time, and it's not a bad thing, but they're usually not off. They're usually on, and this is part of the training with rhythm and with picking. This is what you gain from it: is being a player that's on and being able to do complex rhythm and complex picking styles. That's always on. And if you ever see a good drummer who's killing it, which I saw last night actually, you see that every time he plays something, it's a group of maybe 6 or a group of 7 notes, and he's playing cymbal work, or he's doing something on the toms, or with the kick and the snare, and he's doing he's using all the instruments, but he's on. Doesn't matter what he's doing, he's always on. That's the sign of a good drummer, and it is hard to find one. There are many in Toronto, but again, that's the point, is to be on. So now moving back into the 5, as I mentioned before, we could do a group of 5 as in 2 and 3, or 3 and 2. You could even count it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, or you can do 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, that's a grouping of 5. So I'll break it down in terms of the different types. More commonly, we have one of 2, which is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 makes 5. The next one is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So there again is 5, 1, 2, 3, and 2, 5. We could do the less common division of it as 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is again 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, which again is 5. So being able to divide the rhythm in your head and understanding that it's been accented in a certain way and that there's a certain rhythm to it is your first step. The second step is being able to play it. The tricky thing with any odd number, like a triplet, the 5s, the 7s, and the 9s, is that there's a picking style that follows. The triplet, for example, goes down, up, down. And when you put it back to back, it goes down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. So you're getting 2 downs and you're getting 1 up within one triplet. But the moment you move into the next triplet, you're going down, up, down, down, up, down, down, and so it gives you the essence of a double down pick, and that accent on that first triplet, which is down, up, down, down, up. That accent there is the mark of the second triplet. So it's important to make sure that you are accenting as well. So that's the triplet. Now the 5. When we go into the 5, you have to accent those downs as well. So if we're doing 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, the picking would be down, up, down, and it would go down, up, down, 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 up, down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, up, down, down. So again, you're getting a sense of a triplet. The 3 is a triplet, so you're doing a double and a triplet, all within 1 bar of 5, which will help your playing. So if you can practice that 5, and then you hear a song by some artist, maybe Middle Eastern, maybe Greek, maybe Italian, whatever genre of music you're listening to that has a grouping of 5, you can then understand that the bar is, they're using the phrase in music over the bar, and it could be 2 bars. But the phrase could be going over 1 bar, but you'll understand that if the accents go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, the picking will usually go ba 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 ba. So in other words, you're getting a down, up, down, up, down. So you're getting a triplet and then a double and then a triplet. On the reverse, if we do 3 and 2, we're getting a triplet first and then a double. So it goes down, up, down, down, up. And so that would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that would be your bar of 5. So 6. You could divide a 6 in many different ways. Obviously, as the numbers increase, you can then have more options to divide up the rhythm. One more common way to divide a 6 would be 3 and 3. You could do 2 and 4, but if you're going to do 2 and 4, you might as well stick to something else. Unless you're trying to do something syncopated, you're trying to accent the 1 and then the 3. 1 and the 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's right. Sorry, I had to think about that. So if you're taking a 6 and you're dividing it in those ways, you could do a 2 and a 4, which is less common. More commonly, they do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, which gives you 6. Or you could do 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Gets a little hairy. So the 6 would most commonly be played as a triplets. So 2 triplets together would make you 6. And that would sound like this. So there's your triplets. 7. 7 is most commonly accented as 3 and 4. So you get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the reverse, you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And those are very common in Middle Eastern music and Greek music. We call it a kalamatiano. A lot of Greek dancers think that a kalamatiano has, because it has 12 steps, that the rhythm is over a bar of 12, but that's actually not the case. What actually happens is they're dancing over 4 bars. So if you count out the steps, it's 12, but they're doing 3 steps per bar. So, I mean, I won't do the numbers on that, but you can think about it and get back to me and let me know in the comments section what your opinion is. But that is the case. It's they're doing one grouping of steps, which is 12 steps to the Kalamatiano, and they're doing it over 4 bars in the music. So for any dancers out there, that might be something you want to consider, so that your dance ends or starts on a certain beat in the song. So yeah, most commonly it starts as 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 4, or on the reverse you have 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3, and then the other less common but still used way to accent the 7 would be 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 2 3 1. Or you could even do 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 1 2 3. It gets really complicated, but I think you guys understand. So yeah, let me just increase the brightness here. That's better. Okay. 8s, very simple. Groups of 2s. You can do 2 groups of 3 and a 2, or you can do groups of 4. In terms of accenting an 8, you might as well just keep your one accent at the beginning and then play 7 notes as regular. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, etc. Like I said before, the even numbers are very simple. They're very straightforward. It's the odd numbers where you get the interesting time measures and where it becomes complex. 9. I love 9s. I love 7s. I love 5s. I love all the off tempos or the syncopated or whatever you want to call them. So the 9, for example, it is most commonly as 4 and 5 or 5 and 4. And that would sound like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5. Or you could do 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 pa 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 pa. So that again is your 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 or 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4. We have in Greek music kamilieriko, rhythm, karsilama, and zembekiko. I'm not going to go through those rhythms because they don't pertain to this exercise, but those rhythms have divisions of the 9. You could take a 9 and you could do it as 3. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. So you could do it like that. You could do the 4 and 5 or the 5 and 4. You could even do 3 and 6. You could do 2 and 7, which is another cool, different, type of division. And relating this to melody, which I won't get into too much, but if you relate how you play the piece of music with what kind of rhythm and how you accent it versus how it's being portrayed in the drum and bass section, that's where the cool mix happens. If you're playing something straightforward, no accents, but the backline guys, the bass and the drums are doing something cool, that's where the music can get really interesting, or vice versa. They could be doing a grouping of 4 and 5, and you could be doing a grouping of 2 and 7, which is really interesting because then you get more than just 2 accents per bar, and that's where musicality happens. That's where the uniqueness of certain artists comes out as opposed to others. So I'm going to leave it at that for the explanation. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through all of them up to 4, sorry, and then I'm going to do 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 all separately, because I do need to slow them down so that you guys can get the essence of it. So this is at 60. So here we go, from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. So remember, we're doing quarter notes or singles on the beat. Sorry, not half notes. We're doing eighth notes. We're doing 2 now. Very good. Now we're going to move into triplets. Here we go. Remember, if you didn't do it this time, you can try it again. But the triplet is down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. So we're getting a down, up, down, and then the immediate down right after that. So it does take a little bit of practice. And that's going to help you for the 5s, the 7s, the 9s, and the groupings of those. So triplet is actually very important for this video. So now the 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Up. So I'm going to slow this down just a little bit so that we can do the 5. Now remember the 5, I'm going to start it off with a 2 and a 3. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to do it like that so that your pick remains steady throughout the bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on the next bar is where you come around and you do the second down. If you do a 3 and a 2, you're doing your double down in the middle of the bar. No problem with that. But I'm just going to show it to you in that way. So the first one we're going to do is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, down, up, down, up, down. So here we go. This is set to 56 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bummer. Now we're going to do the 3 and 2. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, I'm not going to show the example of doing the 1 and 4 as the 2 and 3 are the most common. Moving on to the 6, you could play it straight through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or you could do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, in which case you're going to have a triplet and a triplet, and in the middle of the bar between 3 and 4 you're going to get a double down. So it's going to be 3 down, 4 down, 5 up, 6 down. So here we go. 6 is going to be a little slower. I'm going to put this at 52 BPM. So here we go. 6 now. We're going to start off with the straight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm going to start that again. I'm not happy with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Now, if we're going to do the triplets, again, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the accents are on that. So the second accent's going to be right in the middle of that click. The first one is going to be right on the click. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, pa 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 pa. Well, I'm not doing the wrong rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So here we go. Pa 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 pa. So moving on to the sevens, slowing it down to 50. So 7, I'm going to do the most common is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, job. I think you guys at this point could probably figure out the 8 very straightforward. I'm going to skip that one and move right on to the 9 because I think the 9 is more important than learning the 8. The 8, again, you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You could do 2 and 6. You could do 1 and 7, or any division in between. You could put the 7 at the beginning and the 1 later, the 6 at the beginning and the 2 later. You could do 5 and 3. And that might be an interesting one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. And see, this one can also be split up as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3. So I'm not going to go into those ones, even though they might be pretty cool. But I'm going to leave those alone. Maybe let you guys experiment with this one. But it's all about going over the entire bar. So when you split it up and you say, okay, well, I'm going to put a 3 and a 2, great. But accent those with your picking. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So you're getting 6 and a 2, which does make 8. So there would be 8 separate notes in that bar. So it's a very cool thing. The 8 is actually pretty interesting, but I'm going to leave it alone and let you guys figure that one out. So moving on to the more common ones in a 9, we're going to do the 3s. We're going to do 4 and 5 and 5 and 4. So starting off with the 3s, it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but very fast. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, I can't even say it that fast. Oof, very fast. All right, I gotta slow it down. I'm gonna try this at 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 4, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, That was a little bit harder for me. I don't practice this too often, but it's really good to go through these numbers, get comfortable with them. You might one day run into them. Maybe you play them all the time. Maybe this is the right up your alley, and you just need maybe a little bit of guidance. I'm sure that some of this was a bit of an eye opener for some people, and if not, you know what? Great. It's really nice to be exposed to that level of music. A lot of people are stuck on 2s and 4s, maybe even 3s, but music is so much you could do in music, so big. It all comes down to how creative you are and how you think about it. So I'm really hoping that this maybe sparks some interest in you, and you want to create something with any of the rhythms that I spoke about, with any of the divisions that I did. They're very common. I'm sure you could read about them. And all of this goes back to time signatures too. So if you have a 5/4, that's 5 pulses with quarter notes, and you could divide that up in so many different ways. 7/8, 9/8, 9/4, and there's it's never ending. Any questions? Please, as usual, send me a message or drop me a line, comment. But like my video. Thanks. Take care.